Welcome to Blazing Baseball, episode number 113, where we blaze through today's baseball topics, and we're Astros and Yankees fans.
Yep.
So, today, we already had two games. We had also in news, we have a Yankees trade that we'll get into.
Yes.
And interesting title I saw today is from USA Today, but Max Scherzer said quote apparently says pitch comp technology should be illegal.
Yeah. Yep.
So
I agree.
we'll get into that. And so earlier today we had the Braves and Orioles, and the Birds won 3-0. And sorry if I mispronounce any names of this podcast. And the win went to Lyles, and the loss goes to Yarbrough, and the save goes to Batista. And then we had the Marlins at Reds, with Miami winning 7-6, with the win going to Pop, the loss to Strickland, and the save to Scott. And then later today we have the Phillies at Pirates, with the Phillies Wheeler, who is 8-5, versus the Pirates Thompson, who is 3-7.
Pennsylvania. The two Pennsylvania teams are playing each other.
Yep.
It's good stuff.
The Peas.
The Peas. There you go.
And then we have the Royals at Yanks.
Yankees,
with
come on.
The Royals singer.
Snap out of it.
Who is 4-3 versus the Yankees Taillon.
All right.
Who is 10-2.
Yeah. All right.
And then we have the Tigers at Blue Jays, with the Tigers Alexander, who is 2-3, versus Toronto's Kikuchi, who is 3-5. And then we have the Guardians at Bum Sox, with the Guardians McKenzie, who is 7-6, versus Boston's Crawford, who is 2-3. And then we have the Mariners at Astros, with the Mariners Gilbert, who is 10-4, versus the Astros Urquidy, who is 9-4. And then we have the Dodgers at Rockies, with the Dodgers Anderson, who is 10-1, versus the Rockies Arena, who is 1-2. And then we have the Rangers and Angels, with the Rangers Howard, who is 1-2, versus the Angels Otani, who is 9-5. And then we have the Cubs at Giants, with the Cubs Steel, who is 4-6, versus San Fran's Wood, who is 6-8.
All right, so we had 2 games done already today, 8 more games coming down on a Thursday. So a total of 10 games in Major League Baseball today. Not good news yesterday for the Astros or the Yankees. They both lost. Unfortunately, Astros lost 4-2 in Oakland at the Oakland Coliseum against the Oakland A's. Astros had 5 hits and 2 runs. They had a double by Yuli, a triple by Myers, and a home run by Alvarez, but they only got 2 runs. The A's came up with 8 hits and 4 runs, and their winning pitcher was Irvin. He's 6-7 for the season. He went 7 innings. He gave up 4 hits and 2 runs. His ERA is 3.05. He pitched a great game, and Puck got the save. He pitched the 9th inning. He had a strikeout. His ERA is 2.13, and he shut him down. He got a second save of the season. Losing pitcher was Javier for the Astros. He went 5 innings. He gave up 5 hits and 3 earned runs. 2 of those were home runs, and so his ERA went up to 3.26. There were 9,367 fans at Oakland Coliseum rooting for the Oakland A's in their victory over the Astros last night. And
yeah, it was the Astros' first time getting swept this season, and it was the A's' first time sweeping this season. Okay. So, we have it. It happened, so we have a taste in our mouth, and hopefully it doesn't happen again.
Yep, got to bounce back. Yep. Start of the second half of the season, and they were playing away. Astros are really tough at home. So let's see what happens. The Astros are going to come back home. Uh, and we'll get that game as soon as I give you the update on the game last night for the Yankees against the New York Mets in Flushing, Queens. The Mets prevailed. They won 3-2 in a nail biter. They won in the bottom of the ninth on a single. And the Mets had 9 hits and 3 runs. The Yankees had 7 hits and 2 runs. Donaldson had a double, and Kiner-Falefa had a double, and Torres had a home run, but it wasn't enough. We only came up with 2 runs on the 7 hits. The Mets had clutch hitting in the bottom of the ninth. They won the game 3-2. They had 9 hits, and their winning pitcher was Lugo. Lugo went for 1 2/3 innings. He had 3 strikeouts. His earned run average is 3.49. Losing pitcher for the Yanks was Peralta. He's 2-3. He gave up 3 hits and he gave up the winning run. His earned run average is 2.43. There were 43,693 screaming fans at Shea Stadium as they won the game in the bottom of the ninth, 3-2. Yankees stay in first place at 66-33 in the AL East. The Mets are staying in first place in the NL East at 61-37. And the Astros are 64-35 in the AL West. So those are what their current positions are. And tonight, the Astros are coming home.
Yes, we have the game today in Minute Maid in Houston at 7:10 Central Time. And on the mound for the Mariners, we have Logan Gilbert, who is a right-handed pitcher who is 10-4 with a 2.77 ERA and 112 strikeouts. And then on the mound for the Astros is Jose Urquidy, who is 9-4 with a 3.93 ERA and 77 strikeouts.
Yep.
Up first for Seattle is Rodriguez at center field, batting .274. And then France at first base, batting .309. And then Santana at DH, batting .206. And then Suarez at third base, batting .234. And then Crawford at shortstop, batting .267. And then Riley at catcher, batting .211. And then Winker at left field, batting .225. And then Frazier at second base, batting .239. And then Moore at right field, batting .199. And then up first for the Astros is Altuve at second base, batting .272. And then Gurriel at first base, batting .237.
Yuli.
And then Alvarez at DH, batting .309.
Oh, yeah.
And then Bregman at third base, batting .238. And then Tucker at right field, batting .248. And then Pena at shortstop, batting .265. And then Chazzy Fizz McCormick at left field, batting .229. And then Myers at center field, batting .233. And then Maldonado at catcher, batting .172.
Okay, so hopefully the Astros can snap back. They got swept up in Oakland, but they're back home. And they're going to be tough tonight because, man, they didn't like getting swept for the first time in the season. They're a really good team and they have really good pitching. So let's see what happens tonight. They have one of their best pitchers on the mound. Urquidy is tough. Hopefully they're going to bounce back and win it tonight. As far as the Yankees are concerned, Yankees are coming back home also, and they're going to go against Kansas City Royals. Yep. Who's chucking?
So before we get into that, let's go into the trade. Because this affects the lineup that we're about to get into.
There it is.
So, yes, according to ESPN.com, New York Yankees acquire all-star outfielder Andrew Benintendi from the Kansas City Royals. And this was announced Wednesday night. And the Yankees are sending 3 minor league pitchers prospects to the Royals in exchange for the 28-year-old Benintendi, right-hander Beck Way, right-hander Chandler Chaplin, and left-hander TJ Sekema.
Mm-hmm.
And then it says
It's ESPN.
Benintendi's career. He's batting a career best at 320 with 3 home runs and 39 RBIs in 93 games this season.
All right. And he's playing left field.
Yes. And
All right.
so I saw another headline that did say, does this mean is this the end for Joey Gallo?
Maybe.
Maybe.
The thing is, Stanton's hurt. So Stanton's on the DL now. He has the Achilles tendon issue. So they need another outfielder. So I don't know what that means in terms of the staffing, but Stanton's down and out for a few weeks. Hopefully he's going to get back and be able to get into the playoff mode for the Yankees. But this should be a big help for the Yanks. I think he's a really good hitter, and I think he's going to help the team. He was on the Red Sox for quite a while, I think 4 or 5 years on the Red Sox. So then Kansas City and now the Yankees. So hopefully he's going to be a good addition. He's an all-star player, and I think he's going to be playing left field tonight. But we'll see what the lineup looks like.
Yep. And so today at 6:05 in the Bronx, New York, 6 Central Time, we have Brady Singer on the mound for the Royals, who is a right-handed pitcher who is 4-3 with a 3.82 ERA and 81 strikeouts. And then on the mound for the Yanks is Jamison Tyone, who is a right-handed pitcher who is 10-2 with a 3.93 ERA and 84 strikeouts.
It's a good pitcher.
And then up first for the Royals is Melendez at catcher, betting 228. And then Merrifield at second base, betting 242. And then Pasquantino at DH, betting 211. And then Dozier at third base, betting 264. And then O'Hearn at right field, betting 207. And then Taylor at center field, betting 279. And then Pareto at first base, betting 233. And then Garcia at shortstop, betting 0. Looks like he has no stats right now.
Not yet.
And then Isbell is at left field, betting 221. Perhaps this is his debut.
Yeah.
And then up first for the Yanks is Benintendi at left field, betting 320.
He's leading off.
Yep.
He's leading off.
Mm-hmm. And then Judge at DH, betting 292. And then Rizzo at first base, betting 223. And then Torres at second base, betting 263. And then Hicks at center field, betting 243. And then Donaldson at third base, betting 226. And then Gallo at right field, betting 161. And then Gonzalez at shortstop, betting 226. And then Trevino at catcher, betting 262.
262. Okay. So Benintendi's going to be at it, the number one batter for the Yankees. So that's interesting. DJ's not in the lineup. He's getting a break. Okay. So that's what's happening. And then we got Rizzo in the outfield. No, we got Rizzo at first, and we got Joey in the outfield with
as well with Benintendi.
And Aaron Judge is DH. So the center fielder is Aaron Hicks. Okay. All right. And Stanton's down and out for a couple of weeks. So that's what's happening for the Yankees tonight. Okay. Hopefully the Yankees can snap out of it and they can win tonight and come out of it, because they're 4-6 in their last 10 games. I want you to do the standings, and the Astros are 6-4 in their last 10 games, but they did get swept. They lost the last 3.
Yep. So in the AL East, the Yanks are 11.5 games over Toronto. In the AL Central, the Twins are 1.5 games over the Guardians. In the AL West, the Astros are 10 games over the Mariners. In the NL East, the Mets are 3 games over the Braves. In the NL Central, the Brewers are 3 games over the Cards. And in the NL West, the Dodgers are 11.5 games over San Diego.
Okay. So we're still in first place by a lot.
Yep.
But
both our teams.
Yes, but we have to win.
Maintain.
We have to maintain, keep winning.
Keep winning.
Win the division and knock out the other teams in the playoffs. So we got to put it together tonight. Hopefully, we're going to be victorious. I say go Yankees, go Astros.
Yep. And then in that story by Scooby Axon with the by on USA Today,
Yeah.
the title is Mets pitcher Max Scherzer disses on PitchCom technology. It should be illegal.
Yeah.
And then, so quote by Scherzer is the fact that we're taking this out of the game.
And putting it into technology.
So before this paragraph, he's explaining that part of the game is just stealing signs that you see from the dugout to players onto the field, and with the pitch calm technology being in players' ears, and
there's no signs.
Then that takes away the need for doing those kind of signs.
Yeah, because you watch them, they're touching their face and they're moving their hands and they're going like this. They do all kinds of funny stuff. It's great.
Yeah, and so sometimes players will try to decipher what they're trying to
like if he touches his nose,
communicate.
Touch his left ear. Was it his right ear?
Yeah.
Was it his chin? Yep. Was his head? Was his kneecap? I remember that, being in the Little League and all that, and you get the sign from the third base coach, or you get a sign from the manager, and he would tell you to do something, and you follow the sign. So kids are taught that in Little League. So it is part of the game, entrenched forever for 100 years.
Yeah, so it does change the game. And so the quote is the fact that we're taking this out of the game and we're putting it in technology. Now, everybody, you can't steal signs on second. The pitcher can't have an advantage of having a complex system. It's part of baseball trying to crack someone's signs. Does it have its desired intent that it cleans up the game a little bit? Yes, but I also feel like it takes away part of the game.
I agree with him. I like it the old way. I know, and they're always messing around with that thing and taking it out and putting it back in, and it's closed the game down, and they have trouble with it, and sometimes it doesn't work.
Yeah, Scherzer took it out pretty early in his start against the Yanks. And it says, despite his comments, Scherzer says using the technology again is still on the table in the future. Quote by Scherzer, I'll continue to think about it. I might.
And he is a 3-time Cy Young Award pitching champion.
Yep.
He's badass.
And he's definitely in that contention this year, too.
Yes. Question. And he's definitely going to be a Hall of Famer.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. So, I mean, he's one of the leading pitchers, and he says he doesn't want to use that technology, and he thinks it takes away from the game. And I agree. I didn't like it when I saw it. I said, what is this crap? I'm from the old school. I like it the old way.
Yeah, and it maybe it does take too long with them trying to be like,
they're always going like this. I mean,
I
don't know. It's hokey to me. They didn't need it. They didn't need it, but
that's true.
They're trying to be kind of like the football quarterbacks, because the football quarterbacks have the sound, and the offensive coordinator calls the play into the helmet. And so I think they were trying to copy Major League Football, but it's a different game. It's there's one play and it's 40 seconds away, and it's a little different. I think football, it actually has a place, but I don't think it has a place in baseball. I thought baseball was great the way it was. That's all I'm going to say. I think in NFL, they wanted the quarterbacks to score more touchdowns, get more points, because the fans like it.
To make the communication easier.
So then they want them to score. They want them to score more touchdowns. Yeah. So I think that's what happened. But baseball, I like it the way it was. So I vote with Scherzer. Don't need it.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what to vote on that yet.
All right. Well, you think about it. We'll talk about it tomorrow.
But I mean, it's both has happened now.
Yeah.
So it's kind of
Yeah.
whatever.
Well, they're not going to change it. They're
Yeah,
going
no,
to
they're not
leave.
going to change. They're keep
They're
going
not going to
with it.
change it now. They're
Yeah,
going to try to
so
make it whatever. Hey, there was a kid from Lake Travis High School, your friend, the pitcher. There was a story about your pitching friend from Lake Travis High School.
Yes, he, according to ESPN, title Miami Marlins, Daniel Castano hit in head by a 104-mile-per-hour liner, mildly concussed.
Oh, boy.
And
Oh, he got nailed.
there's a
He
clip
was
of it.
he was a really good pitcher at Lake Travis High School. His senior year, he had a 1.03 earned run average, and then he was a star at Baylor University in Waco, Texas. And then he got picked up by the Miami Marlins, and he's been pitching good for the Miami Marlins, but he got beamed. 104-mile-an-hour ball. I hope he's okay.
Yeah.
Wow. It ricocheted off the crown of his head. He has a mild concussion, it says.
And a bruised forehead.
Okay.
And his CT scan was normal.
Oh, good. Okay. Well, hopefully he's going to bounce back and be okay and get back in the rotation quickly.
Mm-hmm.
It's scary. I actually think that the pitcher should wear a helmet.
Mm-hmm.
And I've said that before because of that.
Mm-hmm.
But the pitchers, they don't want to wear the helmet because that would feel like they're defending themselves instead of striking the guy out. Mm-hmm. But, in the Little League, the kids wear the helmet because they could definitely, they might not get out of the way. So, it
would help in scenarios in that.
It would help. Well, he wouldn't have got a concussion. So that would have been a big help for him.
So there you have it on that baseball discussion.
That was a safety discussion, but I hope he's okay.
Yep, here on Blazing Baseball. Any other baseball topics you want to go over today?
8 more games coming up. Go Astros, go Yankees tonight. Both teams are home.
Yep. And we'll catch you all here tomorrow on Blazing Baseball. Blazing through tomorrow's baseball topics. Peace.
Peace out, Blazing Baseball.